The economics of approval. Approval feels small. A compliment, a promotion, a good grade, a message that says, "Well done." Individually, these moments seem harmless, even encouraging. But over time, approval begins to function like currency. It signals value. It signals rank. It signals belonging. And like any currency, once you recognize its power, you begin to seek it. Not consciously at first. You notice which behaviors earn appreciation. You repeat them. You refine them. You discover that reliability earns trust. Achievement earns recognition. Silence avoids friction. Agreeability maintains harmony. Approval becomes feedback. Feedback becomes direction. Direction becomes identity. This is how systems sustain themselves, not only through rules, but through reward structures. You do not need to be forced into alignment when validation is available. You move toward what feels affirming. Over time, something subtle happens. Worth begins to feel measurable. You may not say it aloud, but you feel it. If I am praised, I am valuable. If I am overlooked, I am lacking. This equation settles quietly into the background of your decisions. You work harder. You respond faster. You volunteer more. You hesitate less to overextend. Not always because you want to, but because recognition stabilizes you. Approval is reassuring. It confirms that you are doing something right. But when approval becomes the primary measure of worth, it reshapes behavior. You begin anticipating evaluation. Even when no one is watching, you imagine being assessed. Is this impressive enough? Is this responsible enough? Is this acceptable? And slowly, the external gaze becomes internal. You evaluate yourself the way the system would. The challenge is not that approval exists. The challenge is when approval becomes the only language of value. There are qualities that systems reward, and there are qualities that remain invisible. Reflection, depth, rest, unpopular truth, boundaries. Not everything essential is rewarded publicly. Yet when approval becomes economic, when it functions like a marketplace, we begin investing in what pays visible returns. Time, energy, identity. We invest where validation accumulates. This is not manipulation. It is structure. Every system has metrics, and humans naturally adapt to metrics. The question is not whether approval influences you. It does. The question is whether you are aware of how much. If praise disappeared for a season, would you continue the same way? If recognition paused, would your direction change? These are uncomfortable questions because they reveal dependency we rarely acknowledge. There's nothing wrong with appreciation. But when your internal stability rises and falls with external response, your center shifts outward. And when your center shifts outward, decision-making becomes reactive. You choose what maintains approval, not always what maintains alignment. Seeing this does not require rejecting validation. It requires recalibrating it. Approval can be feedback, but it cannot be foundation. Foundation must be steadier than applause. When you begin to separate worth from response, something strengthens quietly inside you. You still receive praise, but you are no longer governed by it. And that shift, subtle but significant, changes how you move through every system that measures you.